Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring Heroes and Hardships, the core rulebook. This is the early access version. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review featuring this universal RPG system, please check out the playlist in the description below. You are also going to find links to the Kickstarter, which is ongoing and it is in its stretch goals. You will also find links to the website, to the Discord, to the Tetsubo section of the website. Tetsubo is an upcoming setting inspired by Japan's Sengoku era. You're also going to find links to my reviews of the Quickstart guide and the Wallace campaign setting, based on the life and exploits of William Wallace, so please check it out. This time we are going to talk about magic. Magic covers many different powers that characters may wield. There are two magic subsystems in Heroes and Hardships. The first one is called Traditional Magic, and the second one is Superpowers. Traditional magic is the casting of spells by a wizard, sorcerer, priest, etc. Traditional magic is flexible, difficult, and dangerous. Fantasy tropes are full of traditional magic, of course. Superpowers are inherent gifts that are wielded by special individuals. And of course, this is related to superheroic tropes. Superpowers are inflexible, costly, easier to use, and not quite as dangerous as traditional magic. There are some similarities and differences when it comes to these subsystems. When it comes to similarities, they both use the same manifestations. They use the same skills, except Arcana. They are organized by schools, and the focus skill is used to determine the max spells and powers, search threshold, and search rolls. Now let's talk about the differences. When it comes to traditional magic, you purchase manifestations as spells. You use spell dice and they are never resisted. The search on skill checks and spell dice is also a difference. Traditional magic uses magical defense, and it may increase valid effects on the fly. When it comes to the differences of superpowers, you purchase manifestations as powers, but they are resisted, they do not use spell dice. The search is on skill checks only. Superpowers do not use Arcana, and valid effects are purchased with ability points or experience points only. When it comes to terminology, manifestations are the actual end result of either a spell or power. Spells and powers are both based off the same manifestations. Spells are used with traditional magic, and powers are used with superpowers. Magic is the generic term that encompasses both traditional magic and superpowers. Spells are cast and powers are activated. Spells and powers are both considered abilities and are purchased as general abilities. Spells and powers use manifestations differently. A character may purchase both spells and powers if they have both the magic user and superpowers abilities. This allows a character to use both magic systems. However, manifestations purchased as spells or powers must be used how they were purchased, and cannot be used in any other way. The same manifestation may be purchased as both a power and a spell. There are schools of magic, 8 schools in total when it comes to traditional magic. These schools are typically ruled by 4 skills. Each school of magic is commonly given a color for easy designation. These colors may be used by the game master in their games if they wish, or they may simply use the school's proper names. The schools of magic are used for both traditional magic and superpowers, and can be described in ways that are fitting for the setting in question. Some of these schools include divination, the manifestations dealing with distant and strange knowledge. There is also force, manifestations dealing with protection. There is also alacrity, which has to do with manifestations dealing with speed and travel, and there is soul, manifestations dealing with life and death, and these are just some of the schools. The fate attribute is required for both traditional magic or superpowers to be used in a game. If fate is not used, no magic type is available. Focus is a skill governed by the fate attribute and has various uses in both magic systems. When it comes to burning fate, when a character that uses magic burns a fate point, it can alter how they use magic. if burning a fate point would lower a character's fate attribute less than the character's focus skill rank, then lower their focus skill rank equal to their fate attribute. That focus skill rank is lost forever, even if their fate attribute is improved, unless they rebuy the focus rank with experience points. If a character's focus skill rank is lowered, verify that the number of spells, powers, or power effect levels they have access to is not greater than their new focus skill rank multiplied by 2. If so, the player must decide which spells, powers, or power effect levels to use. They lose spells or powers equal to how many they have greater than their new focus multiplied by 2 in total. The spell or power is lost forever, even if their focus rank is improved, unless they buy the spell or power with experience points. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about more specific details concerning traditional magic and superpowers. So the system is very easy to understand, but you have those two variations or streams of magic, which are traditional magic and superpowers, and you will be able to use them in any sort of setting. If you want to play a Cthulhu Mythos sort of campaign, you can use magic modified to that. Or if you want something closer to Dungeons and Dragons or Lord of the Rings, this system is also capable of handling that. And if you want superpowers, sci-fi, psionic abilities and such, this book also has you covered. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.